What's up, Inland Empire? Manny Sandoval here, Inland Insight with IECN.
I'm Denise Berver.
And we are excited because some of our community partners, the San Bernardino family YMCA, kind of iconic. You guys have probably heard about them. They've been around for a very long time. Today we have with us J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, who is the executive director of the San Bernardino Family YMCA, as well as Bjorn Madrid, who is the marketing director for the YMCA of the East Valley.
Yes.
Thanks for being with us. I want to start off with the origins of YMCA. You know, just to give everybody, get them up to speed, we recently had a previous discussion about the YMCA where Jennifer had mentioned to us that Young Men's Christian Academy, that, you know, is kind of what its origins started as. But can you sort of delve on that and share with us what that was and what the YMCA is today?
So I believe the YMCA has always been the safe haven for all, right? Even back when we really started. But where we are now, it's really not the Young Men's Christian Association anymore. It's a place, and that's why we kind of rebranded to the Y, right? Mm-hmm. Just the Y on its own, in a sense, to understand that this is a place for everyone, families, youth, seniors, and everything in between, to allowing them to coming into our facilities to do more than just wellness, right? We have programmings that build on top of that, where anyone who comes through our doors will find something to do to keep active.
Yeah, we used to have, in Redlands also, we used to have the YWCA, which actually merged with the East Valley. So now we're all just one group. So there's no separation really like a men's or a women's, that even though it still has, that's what it stood for. Yeah. Like Jennifer said, the whole thing, it's welcoming everybody. Doesn't matter race, religion, anything like that. Like, it's a place where people can find community.
Cater to everybody, basically, all ages. And mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about some of the programs based on the age ranges that you serve.
So currently we host baby classes that we're opening, that I mentioned with the Mom Walk of San Bernardino, that we're partnering to send out surveys where we're going to start opening and gearing towards parent and me classes, right, to ensure that our moms in our community have somewhere to go with their loved ones, their babies, you know, in addition to doing more activity to stay active through these phases. But from there, our aquatics program can deliver all the way to being proficient. We also have and just launched our itty bitty program in coherence with the San Bernardino School District, which we're very excited for. So we started at our local preschools. As of right now, we're servicing Gomez, Allred, and Indian Springs, and we're in the process of launching at Anton Elementary and Cypress Elementary. And there, what we're doing is servicing the pre-kinder, TK kinder, and kinder kiddos with, in a sense, itty bitty, and giving them the right fundamentals to understand what sports are and what the activities will pertain or kind of gear them up to their motor skills and developing on those. So we've had nothing but absolutely great feedback. So we're very excited, especially to have great, you know, leadership and principals who are supporting and excited to have us. Kids are going home telling their parents about their Y instructor, right? And parents are asking, what is going on? Why is my kid coming home excited? And now it's creating an atmosphere and a culture with parents and students being excited to actually be outside doing something more than possibly video games, right?
Something that's exciting too about you guys and your sort of facility is the indoor pool element. So it's a heated pool, it's indoors, no matter what the weather is outside. We know in our region, our inland region, the weather is, you know, up and down and crazy, hot and cold. The Mommy and Me swim class, can you tell us what someone could expect attending that, what the environment would look like, what that experience will feel like when they walk into the San Bernardino Family YMCA, and what the date is?
And Absolutely. What age ranges for the babies, too?
So we're very excited. I believe the youngest we're going to be taking in is 6 months, if I'm not mistaken, because it's really getting them comfortable around water, right? You should expect coming into an exciting environment, especially with us partnering with the Mom Walk of San Bernardino. Our goal is to bring more activities and resources to our moms who are seeking to do more. The pool will be heated and indoors at 88 degrees. So it will be nice and cozy, where you will feel comfortable coming in, bringing yourself and your baby in. And this is not just for moms, but we call it a parent and me class, because we also have, dads or relatives who are the ones who are providing for the baby, who can also come and just have this experience with their kids.
So it's more than a swim class, basically. You're building community.
Exactly that.
And offering the resources to the parents also.
And something great about that too is obviously after you swim, you are going to need to change. And you guys actually just remodeled your women's locker rooms, I believe, right?
That is correct. So you will see our brand new renovated locker rooms that we're very excited to have open. And slowly with time, we're going to be building off of that to ensuring that not just the locker rooms in the women's area, but the bathrooms, the showers, both in women's and men are upgraded, in addition to the 2 family bathrooms that we have on the pool deck.
We got the tour of the renovated locker room facility, and it looks great so far. And you have big plans. What are your other plans for the Y in San Bernardino?
So right now we're looking into resurfacing the outdoor basketball court. We had the 2 new installs for outdoor basketball, which our current facility, Itty Bitty Sports Program, they went from the gym to outside because they absolutely love just the outdoor environment. It's a very different experience, right? If weather, changes our plans, we'll go back indoor. But I am looking into resurfacing that as our next step forward. And then little by little, we're going to be building upon of that.
Yeah. And then, building upon that, I do know there's some ideations currently about an outdoor gym, possibly. What would that look like if that does, or when that comes to fruition?
Absolutely. So I am really looking into activating unused space, right? And really using anything that we have available to just enhance. I would love to have an outdoor free weight station. So that would be the ideal goal, is to set out some turf out the end of the basketball court. And we're going to be activating our outdoor space, anything we're not using, to really start utilizing it in different capacities, right? And a free weight center is something we're looking forward to. So at the end of the basketball court, we're going to install some turf, possible weight container that's going to hold all of the weights where we can store them, take them out. And I say that because we're not just going to use the turf for outdoor free space. We're also going to activate it in providing some classes. We just piloted our push and pump class with Miss Maria Moreno. So that's been, gradually growing. I think we just concluded our first week. She's doing an evening class on Monday and Wednesday, where we have more of our moms and, adults. And in the morning on Tuesday, Thursdays, we're seeing our singers. So now that we know the targeted audience during those hours, we're adjusting the classes to ensure that we're tailoring to our community and our needs.
So what would that class include? If you came to the Y and you went to this class, what are you getting?
Excitement. I say excitement because the music is very lively, but ultimately you're activating your muscles to get comfortable with lifting weights. And I know Bjorn is probably a great expert in that area. He also teaches that class. So I can let him kind of give us a little bit more.
What does that feel like even taking that class? What are your muscles going to feel like?
Well, you will feel exhausted when you first take the class. Just first take the class. So push and pump is based off of strength training. So we have cardio programs, strength training programs, and this is the new one that they're piloting with San Bernardino YMCA. So with that class, it's about lifting weights, but it's not heavy weights. You can use body weight if you want to, but it's about building that strength through a lot of reps, not a lot of weight.
Got it.
Is the idea behind the push and pump class.
So for people who may be intimidated by going into a weightlifting class, this is an option where you can let them know you tailor to all levels.
Exactly. And that's why you have to come up with not necessarily a creative name, but what it is, because it isn't weight training, it's strength training. And so with that, it's just a different way to start building up the muscle in your body. So you're not going to just go into the gym and start doing, squats on the machine with the big barbells and all that. This is kind of getting you prepared. It really helps to tone the muscles as well.
Butts and guts. I remember when I went to Cal State, their school gym there, that's the title, and it sounds like a similar class, and that's what theirs was called, Butts and Guts. And I'm sure
Yeah.
they were just trying to like really garner the attention of the clientele, which was students, obviously. So
Yeah.
Yeah. We
But,
call ours core and floor. I don't think you guys have core and floor there yet.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But yeah, we do core and floor.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great segue into this conversation about, obviously there's the San Bernardino location, there's the Highland Y, there's also the Redlands Y. And there's a lot of different membership opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Everything from, I think what you guys mentioned, there's like a after school program, which there's a big discount, which I'll let you guys explain that. But then there's also memberships where you can get access to all three locations. Is that correct?
Yeah, so if you go on to the website, ymcaeastvalley.org, you would just click on the Join the Y portion, which will give you the breakdown of all the memberships, also the memberships versus each of our locations. So if you get a membership at the Redlands Y, that includes all the Ys in the association. So your membership, it's obviously going to be a higher cost than at the other two, but that's because it includes, you can be at Redlands, Highland, or San Bernardino. It doesn't matter. And then the Highland Y has their prices. San Bernardino Y also has their pricing. The biggest thing that we try to promote to people too is financial assistance. Don't go onto the website and look at that number and be like, you're out of your mind. I can't afford this. Because we work with people. We have so many options. It's like, come in, let us work with you, let you know what we can provide in terms of helping out financially. And a big thing with that too is also letting people know the hard thing is seeing what you get for your money. There's a lot of gyms that had daycare that don't have that anymore. You can come here and we still have a kids club where you can drop off your kids while you work out. That's not extra.
Right.
That's part of the membership you pay.
So what does the membership include? All the classes, the child
Yeah,
care?
so it's child care, group exercise classes, your time like open gym time, open pool swim times. You get discounts on programs that we offer, youth sports, all those different kinds of things. You pretty much have access to everything that we offer, the entire facility, when you pay that price. And then on top of the financial assistance we're offering, there's even more bonus offerings at San Bernardino and Highland because they work with the San Bernardino Unified School District, where we have an EXL program, which if one of your kids are part of the EXL program, your whole family could get a membership at the San Bernardino Y for $15 a month.
Wow.
So it
Doesn't matter how many kids you have either, right?
It does not matter how many kids you have. When
that
you
would
get
be for the household.
Wow.
So two
Yes.
adults and the household,
Yeah.
which is very helpful because we also have some people in our community who are caring for foster kids and seeking to take
Right.
their family and their foster kids in to do something active and engaging. So it depends, right? At the San Bernardino Y, it's $15 for a family membership. If they're in our EXL program, this is a benefit for them attending those programs where now it activates that whole family to come in and do programming.
Right. So since we're on the subject of school-age children, what can you tell us about the safe space that the Y offers for school-age children and the after-school programs?
I would say it's very safe. I've been there for the last 11 years out of the San Bernardino YMCA. It's our own community, and we have great support through Parks and Rec. I'm partnered with our local teacher at Anton Elementary, she's a great community leader who also cares for not just her school site that is 2 minutes from us, but our location, because we want to make sure that it's safe for the kids to, come outside and do activities. We're hoping in the future to activate the Pears Hill Park and connect with them so that we can get some movement going on around there and redrive that into our family steering that space and activating it. We haven't had very many problems. I think I was mentioning I do walk and talk meetings with my team, and many of them, it's, hey, let's walk over to Starbucks or the Circle K, and we walk right through because I want the presence in the community to show that we're here for families and kids, and that's our number one priority at the end of the day. Right. So the more we activate it, the more traction we have, the better we're going to steer and activate our own space.
And feeling comfortable to walk in that area shows that, you know, as you mentioned, you guys do walk and talk meetings, which I think that's just genius. Get those steps in, get the information out, get a coffee. But I think that speaks to the city remedying Paris Hill Park too. And there's been some big changes in the past year. I believe it was last October, maybe November. I believe it was October though, where they completely, you know, I think cleared the encampments and completely remedied everything down to the soil. And Bjorn, I think you mentioned a little bit of information to me in regards to that, but can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so the Y was very instrumental in helping clean up that area because we didn't want stuff like that to be a deterrent to letting people come into the San Bernardino Y, especially when we promote that it's such a safe space for you to be, for you and your entire family. So before all that had happened, we actually had gone out and taken photos. We actually got aerial shots with a drone that we provided to the city so they could see what everything looked like in terms of where our location is with the park right there, what all was set up and going on. And yeah, I remember going back a couple months after all that, and I was blown away. Like, it was beautiful. Like, I was like, wow. So they did a really great job. It's nice and clean, and it's like, don't hesitate. Come on down. You got to check it out.
The State of the City that was last week, they did mention that they cleared a certain amount of parks out. And over the course of the past year, they mentioned that they've collected over 40,000 pounds of trash from City of San Bernardino parks, which includes Paris Hill Park. And it's great to see that it has remained, encampments have remained cleared over the past year. So that's great. And you told me that there is park rangers, right, that sort of come every now and then?
Yeah, so in support to continuing, you know, where we're currently at, we have park rangers from the city who are our first line of support if we need any support with anything going on, whether it's at the park, in the parking lot, near our facility. And then if we need to escalate forward, then we have the San Bernardino City Police. But there are our support in ensuring that as we're activating this space, making it more welcoming for families and kids, that it remains that way.
Yeah. So that touches on the partnerships that you have with the city. What other partnerships do you have in place, and what partnerships would you like to see put in place that will help you improve what you're doing at the Y?
So right now, one of the biggest partnerships would be one of our elementaries. Our second partner would be the Mom Walk of San Bernardino, who's going to help us kind of get that area activated, surveying their moms to understand their needs. And then thirdly, I'm here and available to connect with everyone who is seeking to partner. That will be my number one responsibility, to connect and spearhead those relationships. So as I mentioned, I'm ready to come out into the community, meet the right people, see how we can collaborate and how we can come together for our own community, which I feel is our biggest strength in San Bernardino. And I just want to reconnect it to our YMCA in San Bernardino.
Yeah, that's great. Letting people know that you're there. Come see you.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel it's about connecting with all the CBOs, the community-based organizations, that it's not about competition. Like, there's no reason why the Y can't talk to the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
And just forming those relationships with the different organizations around the community to build something strong.
And something I realized this week is that the Boys and Girls Club also is part of the EXL program. I didn't realize that, just like you guys. I did want to mention, Jennifer, just since we're you know, you were talking a little bit about what you're ready to do. You're also multilingual, which I think is very important for our very diverse community here in San Bernardino, across the Inland Empire. But I want to tap into your, you know, how you got started with the YMCA, because you have a long history, obviously. How old were you when you first stepped foot into a YMCA program, and what did that stem from?
So when we moved out from Orange County, I think I mentioned I was bused through almost half of the elementaries in the San Bernardino School District. So a lot of my experience was a lot of time in the bus, right? So the very first time I stepped foot onto the EXL program, formerly known as CAPS, was in fourth grade, third transitioning into fourth grade. Back then, those staff would help during recreational time. And I developed this really great strength through cup stacking. So I was like the cup stacking queen during PE. And I had a particular cup stacking set that I loved to use. So I ended up being the ball monitor to make sure that I got all the PE balls back on their tray. And then I got to pick my favorite cup stacking set, right? At the time, Mr. Garcia was the youth leader that I would see during recess time, and then transitioning into CAPS time, he was also there. So I went from, this was all at Emerton Elementary. Oh, you know what? I lied. You're making me reminisce my good times. I actually started at Warm Springs Elementary in 3rd grade when we would walk across to the church to run program because they weren't hosting it in the facility. From there, when I was then transitioned into Emerton, because I kept hopping schools, was when I met Mr. Garcia, became the cup stacking queen, and started my journey where I realized I love this, and this is a lot more than just homework support, because coming home, my parents wouldn't understand how to support me with my homework because it was in English. Thankfully, I've always had really great neighbors, even in Orange County, too, when we moved to San Bernardino, where they would help me with my homework if I didn't finish during the homework support time. I really kind of started there, and I went through all of Emerton back then, hosted 5th grade. From 5th grade, I went over to Devil I Hope. They didn't really have a program, and during that time of going to Devil I Hope Middle School wasn't maybe the best times of middle school experiences, so it led my parents taking me to a charter school, Public Safety Academy, which I graduated from. And after that, I realized, hey, I applied anywhere you can think of for a job and no one wanted to hire me. So I realized, what am I passionate about? I'm starting college. I need to be able to pay my way through because my parents can't afford it. How am I going to make this happen? And of course, I needed a job. I decided to go back to Emerton when I ran into Mr. Garcia. He was now the site coordinator at the school site, and he led me to the Y and saying, well, it's the Y who hires you. They're our employer. So I applied, did my No Child Left Behind at the time, passed that, and, got my first job ever. So I just really started my career, and I had gone into Cal State San Bernardino for biology pre-med, but my heart kept coming back to every kid that I worked with at the schools, that I realized I don't know if I want to do, pharmaceutical or venture off into medicine. I think my heart is with kids. Right. So I switched my education to education, and I have a minor in special ed because I started working with kids who at the time wanted to come to a program, but we didn't know how to service them appropriately. So I said, hey, let me add that to my education and see how I can help. There was one student, Alexis, who really changed my life. She came in nonverbal, and when parents came into our community, they needed support because they were both working parents, and I hope this reaches them because I constantly think of them. We streamlined her in after-school program as a let's see how it goes. It went so well that Alexis started to attempt to, be more verbal. She did great with her sign sheets, so she can tell us, she needed to use the bathroom, or if she was getting emotionally overwhelmed with all of the chaos, she would put noise-canceling headphones on. The kids around her loved her so much that they understood her. And I get emotional because they worked around her. She was doing what she could, excited and happy, and the kids would be just as excited and happy, that it created a great relationship for not just her class and to her, but the whole entire program. And so I kind of continued growing my passion from there. And like you mentioned, I kind of really made my way all the way to the top, right?
And while you're talking about the EXL program, and I love that story right there because that's so impactful, what is the EXL program for those who are unaware of it? What does that look like when you are actually in it? Because you were part of the program, but it was then CAPS, now EXL. But what does it look like today?
So today, it's really bridging any gaps that we faced after COVID, right? So during that time, we had a huge transition through the district office and our Y branch as a CBO, where they got a new director, Miss Ann Pearson, and myself, right? we were kind of assessing where the program was at coming into these new shoes. And she's been such an amazing person to really spearhead towards our community needs, because we assess the gaps and close them. So all of the programs that we're running in the EXL program are lesson plans written by her team, who are all district teacher or former district teachers, now specializing in EXL, to really teach our kids and enhance those fundamentals, because there was a huge gap in kindergarten. You know, those kinders coming into first grade that first year out of COVID, this was their first time ever on a campus. It's nothing they can have ever experienced before. So now with those efforts, we've bridged those gaps, where lesson plans are driven by them, our staff are implementing them, and we also are at a point where we have different vendors coming to the school sites to teach different programmings. We have Enchanted, who does like 3 different things. They do step-by-step, Rhino, and STEAM. We also have different sports that come onto campus, in addition to theater. Broadway Now Club, run by Tony Plaza. So it's very exciting for our kids to come out and experience these opportunities through our program, completely free to them and our families. Mm-hmm. So it is definitely nothing that we ended up having, 10, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's definitely evolved, but evolved in the direction where there's so much more opportunity to really activate interests and grow upon those.
So speaking to the needs that you're addressing, and you briefly touched on special needs, what is the Y doing to kind of help people with special needs address the issues that they may have that are particular to them?
So right now, the class that we're offering, where we have a few students who have special needs or impairments, are in our aquatics programs. With time, we're going to start opening more tailored classes to all of those families.
Right. Yeah. So your aquatics program is huge.
We're definitely growing it. I think our biggest program right now is our partnership with the district. Our second largest will be our aquatics program, because we're running program at our facility. We are working with every second grade, with every principal and every school at the district to bring their second grader into our facility, mm-hmm. to be drown proof through our SAW program. And then we're piloting through. Well, the goal is to be at all high schools, but we're slowly growing to teaching swim classes at our local high school pools.
Okay, so tell us more about the SAW program. Because I know you were really excited about that when we went to the tour.
So the SAW program stands for Safety Around Water. But really what it is we're bringing kids into our pool who may have never been in a pool, to get them acclimated with being in the water, and teaching them the key fundamentals to knowing how to save their own life in a case of necessity. And I say that because as a child who didn't grow up with a pool in their backyard or access to one, I remembered how I learned how to swim, and I will say it was not a great memory. So our goal is to create good experiences with them coming into our pool, beginning with the SAW program. And I can tell you, all of the smiles and faces that come through those doors, you have to come experience, because it is absolutely impactful. Kids go home and are happy and excited. I come out, because I always come say hi. I come out to their school sites to do a visit. I know you're from the Y, right? Yeah. And I love to see that, because I want them to come back, because they had a good experience. So we started with SAW. From there, we build upon that with partnership in the district to now provide swim vouchers for any kids who are in our EXL program. So parents can come in and say, hey, I love to bring my student in to start taking swim classes. We can double check with the district to make sure they're active and enrolled, and then they qualify for a voucher and have swim classes for free. So that was the next layer. On top of that, we build another layer, right? Because not everyone can come to our facility. So if you can't come to the Y, we're going to bring the Y to you, which is when we then kind of thought about how can we take that to now the next level, where we are currently at Arroyo, Sanji, and Pacific teaching additional classes. So we're more scattered within our community. And then currently, we were just having conversations about what are we going to do when the weather gets cold, right? And realistically, when we have middle schoolers transitioning into high school, they are wondering what water polo is and they're excited to join, but they're standing there thinking, I don't know how to swim.
Yeah.
Right? So our coaches who are devoted to our students are teaching high schoolers how to swim. So I want to take that off their plate and support them by teaching them through our program. So we should be moving forward to a special dykes class this September. We're trying to gauge the starting date. Mid-September is what we're looking at, to target our middle school students who may have interest in, growing in sports once they hit high school. So they're coming to us whether they need to learn how to swim or they need to enhance their current swim abilities and or start learning any kind of water polo fundamentals to get them that knowledge, tools, so that they know how to utilize by the time they're hitting high school. And I think our overall goal and dream would be that in a couple of years, we have the largest swim clubs and teams in San Bernardino, because we're giving our community what they need at the second grade level. Yeah. And now with the parent in me classes at the baby level. Yeah. I've had conversations with people who are like, oh, I remember I learned to swim at the Y. I didn't realize it was here. I was a kid, right? And I want to say we're still here, and you can continue learning to swim here. And we're also coming off site to bring that to them.
Right. So you're removing basically any barrier you can possibly remove. You're trying to remove.
Exactly that. Yes.
So a little bit more of like a personal question for both of you guys, because I mean, just as both directors, being a part of making impact in the community for actual people, whether it's seniors, families, children. And also you guys are, the Y just employs a ton of people in the hundreds. What do you guys each individually say your greatest impact has been while being a part of the YMCA, and why do you hold that so close to your heart?
Well, I would say first and foremost, this got me through my undergrad, and I was even able to help my parents with what I could. Now, I feel that my impact has stayed at Riley Elementary. When I went to Brown, I just did another site visit there. It's still running like I never left. When Brown was only hitting 60 kids in program, I left with them hitting 180 plus. Wow. As of last Friday, they had 175 kids in program. Wow. So I know that self-branding and building trust in our community can be sustainable for a lifetime if we take the time to service our community and provide the appropriate needs. And as I kind of grew my career, I can sit here and say that in my community, I get to staff over 500 employees above minimum wage, because that is what we need. Currently, I think on payroll we have 567. So that feeds to my heart, because I feel that that's exactly what I want to be doing. And continuing upon that is growing more programs, so now our families can come through our doors to have something to do that feeds to their health and wellness.
And you were that person every step of the way. You were the child in the program to the employee in the program, and now executive director, which is so great to see somebody who has completely worked their way up and elevated to, the lead position in their own community that you're from. So.
I definitely feel like a walking testimonial when it comes to investing in people who are coming from your community. Because in reality, if I didn't have all of these great experiences and partnerships and opportunities, I don't know what my life would have been like, right? And I want to continue doing that for all of our staff. And I currently have maybe 4 staff members who are youth leaders who were my students. And seeing them in my program working, going to school, it's my whole 360 feeling where I know that I'm doing the best kind of work that feeds my happiness. And I just really feel like I never work a day in my life because I'm doing what I love.
Your investment and your dedication have been obvious. From the first time we met you, we're like, wow, she is so enthusiastic. And that's really good. It's a breath of fresh air. We need to see that because you are putting so much heart into what you do.
Oh, absolutely. I think if we think about where we were 3 years ago with me being just an interim program director for our EXL program to where we stand today, I definitely feel that we've made such tremendous improvements overall that my next big focus is really gauging all of that EXL focus into programs so that they understand what's available to them. Because me and the district with Miss Ann Pearson, we've done such a great job in really feeding what our community needs to make it accessible and, honestly, more than affordable, right? It's just getting the word out so that parents know where to go, and once they come, we're here to take them in with open arms.
I guess what I'm getting out of this whole conversation is name your child Jennifer Lopez, so they can do everything. That I feel like that name has to be blessed with like great motivation as a human 100%. Being. So yeah.
Growing up, I had we would play on the block as kids, and they'd be like Jenny from the block. I never really knew that until I got older, right? And then people ask, "Can I call you J-Lo?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, she's gorgeous, and I'm a huge fan." So yes, I'm just more of the community server version for the Inland Empire. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And Bjorn, what about you? I feel like that is very tough to follow.
Very tough to follow, but I will try. So for me, I have always been rooted in wanting to help people. It started when my dad passed away from cancer back in 2003, and I got involved with the American Cancer Society. All volunteer stuff, and just really made a name for myself there with all the things I do. And while I was doing that, even though I had a job, I'm like, this is what I need to be doing. Like, I felt my best, and I feel good when you see the impact you're having on these people's lives. Even something as simple as like when we would have our events, I would put a slideshow together, and the thanks you get afterwards just from something that simple, it's like it's making an impact in these people's lives. And there was a time where I didn't have a job, and I'm like, I need to figure out something. And someone told me, hey, they need instructors at the Y, so I teach body combat. And I went, I applied, they're like, yeah, come on in, we'll take you. So I was teaching combat at the Y for probably a little more than a year, and then our fitness director left, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to get her job, because when I started teaching, I had 5 people.
Yeah.
By that time, my classes had like 20 something people in it. So I felt like, okay, I'm doing something right. If I can grow my class, I can grow your program for you. And when I went online to apply, I saw they had a marketing director position open. And that's what I've done my whole life, is marketing, design, all that stuff.
Well, we met you at an advertising agency mixer, actually. So,
so I'm like, I'm just going to go for it. And I ended up getting that position. So I feel it's a lot like what Jennifer said. It doesn't feel like work when you're doing what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And my goal in this position is to really put out to the communities that we serve what the Y does. So many people don't even realize the reach we have with everything we do, from, youth sports, and our youth sports are year round. It's not like basketball season is done and that's it. You got to wait till next year. Year-round sports, basketball. We have karate, soccer, all kinds of different things. You just check the
circus.
The circus, that's a big thing. It's the only circus, youth circus, in the United States at the YMCA in Redlands. But if you're at San Bernardino or Highland, don't let that stop you. You can still do stuff there and be a part of the circus also. But it's about spreading that word with everything we do, and I'm just trying to outreach more with people. That's how we found you guys. Is about finding out how can we spread the word out more, so people really understand what you can get just walking through those doors, it's like, go, ask, take a chance and see what could happen. And
you're everywhere. I know Denise has ran into you unexpectedly about 3-4 times. So
yeah, it's true. I'm all over the place, and there's always something in my head when I go somewhere. I'm like, how can I let people know about the why here? Because you see opportunities for that stuff, and it's not like all these places like regular gyms or whatever and fitness centers or wherever you're going, you know, give you the opportunity for financial assistance. And that's one of the biggest things that I really try to push in my position, is letting people know, don't look at the pricing and be like, never mind. Come in and talk to us, because we work with everybody. That's what we do. I mean, when we do our fundraisers and all those kinds of things, all the money we raise, we spent last year over $400,000 we gave out in financial assistance so people could attend programs, whether day camp where parents who are working have to, you know, what am I going to do when my kid is out for Christmas break or whatever? Come drop them off at the Y. We have day camp for that. You know, we offer summer camp up at Camp Edwards in the mountains. And all these things that we offer and we have all come with financial assistance if you need it.
Right. And that's one of the most important things, is that you're letting people know that these programs exist. And also, you cater to families. And I think when people think of a gym, they don't, top of mind, they don't think of the Y.
Yeah.
So letting people know that we have a gym, but we also have daycare. You can take your whole family to the gym. One can go here, mom and dad. The kids can go here. There's daycare. So you cater to them to make sure that it's accessible and everybody's having a good time.
It is. And the range that we cover, that we span, is for everybody, even within classes. Because like I was saying, I teach combat. I have 10-year-olds every now and then that come in. Like the moms will be like, can my son come with me? I'm like, why not? Go ahead. And then who is the oldest? I have a lady, she always tells me, I believe 78 years old.
Wow.
In combat, okay? So they're
that's a tough class.
punching and kicking.
I mean, it's fun, but
in
it's
there.
tough.
But when you go in, these instructors know, you know, you cater to who is there in the class. So you give options. You have, it's very well-rounded to meet anybody's needs that come
What
in.
does a combat class look like? I'm interested in knowing, like, what are some of the, obviously you can't do the moves, but like, well, I know you could do the moves. Okay, so a lot of hand and like kicks and stuff.
It's a very cardio. I don't want to say super intensive, because we always tell everyone to go. It can be.
Wait, have you done one?
Oh, yes.
You're like, go at your level. That's one of the things we coach.
It's great for stress relief, I'll tell you that
Yes.
much.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think the key is low weights, right? So it's something that is not going to be too challenging. The challenge comes with the high
Intensity.
reps. Exactly, because you can lift one cup up and down just fine, but if you do that 100 times, your arm's going to start feeling a little something.
Gotcha.
So I would say an easy way to think about it is, you know, your own challenge potential. Obviously, we're going to push you to your ultimate goal to, you know, hit your goals, but I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Whether it's the push or pump or combat, like it's all on the level you give yourself. They will coach the options. Like if you do push and pump, it can be just body weight, because they have squats. Then you can grab weights, or you could do body weight. And with combat, like I was saying, that can be cardio intensive. It's a lot of karate, tai chi, boxing. It's a lot of those kinds of moves that you do. But what's so great about all these classes is that the music is fantastic.
I was just going to mention the soundtrack. Yes.
Great music that you work out to.
What's some examples? What are you guys throwing on?
Well, in one of the, I don't know if they're going to do it with you guys just yet, but in one of our releases, we just got Abracadabra by Lady Gaga. Okay. That's like, that song just came out, so if you take my combat class, now that song is intense. That's all squats.
Ooh.
Oh, geez.
And I teach it 5 times a week, so if I put that in my playlist, I'm crying by the end of the week because my legs are
And by
super
Friday,
sore.
can barely walk.
Yeah, I'm like, and we're taking this song out.
No
I'll tell the
stairs.
people.
Yeah.
The workouts are choreographed to the music. They're
Yes.
choreographed routines.
Wow.
So, you're going for that entire 3 to 5 minutes and changing it up, and it
Yes.
gets
So you're
intense.
practically Lady Gaga on a stage dancing to Abracadabra, like with the full-on moves, obviously. But that sounds very entertaining to just watch, honestly.
You
So
should also come and just give it a try
yeah.
and get a
Yeah,
real
that
good
would be
feel for
fun.
it.
Yeah. That would be very. I'm trying to change the subject now. All of a sudden,
He doesn't want to get called out. So
I'm like, the push and pull class. Let's talk about that now. But the push and pull class, because you guys just had a couple sessions this week. There's some next week as well. Is that ongoing? That's at the San Bernardino location, right?
That is correct. The push and pump
and
will
pump.
take
Push and
place.
pump.
Yes.
So we're pushing and pumping, We're going to be hosting it Monday and Wednesday afternoons after 6:45 p.m. and Tuesdays and Thursdays between 10:30 to about 11.
Got it. And
So-
what's that look like?
Oh my God, like so much fun. I think we just posted a picture yesterday. I think they were in the midst of transitioning from a break, but it was very phenomenal to see. If you could see the diversity that we're having and hosting, our instructors are going to tailor to each person that comes to the floor. So it's really that intro to doing, like I mentioned, the low
Right.
weights but high reps
Yeah.
and getting yourself really pushed to your own limits. Because ultimately you're going to work out just about every muscle that you have through the sessions. And I mean, we
Even
had
the ones you can't pronounce.
even the ones you can't pronounce. Exactly that.
I don't
So-
want to put myself on the spot either. I need to talk to Jen a little bit more about this, but that's one of my things too. I'm trying to bring more stuff to all these branches too. So
Yeah.
I really want to, since push and pump is doing very well, I want to try to bring some combat over there too,
That would
to
be
get the
great.
community interested in that
Yeah.
as well. But say that's another thing where it comes to where your heart is and stuff like that, because when I teach these classes, I don't get paid for that. That is me wanting to be out there helping them. And people like, if I don't teach a class, they're going to be like, why aren't you teaching class today?
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry. So I
Well,
really
if you
have to work
teach-
that out, but I want to bring it
If
to
you start off
San
with the little
Bernardino.
pilot one, maybe we'll join or something like that. That would.
I'm going to tell you, and
Yeah.
we will expect you to be there, and then you
100%.
can post those
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah.
So I'm actually looking at the photo that was posted last night of the push and pump class. Dang, that was a lot of emphasis on the P there. But there's a senior and a younger woman, and it looks like a complete mix in the background. And I guess that's just testimony to what you guys are stating. Like, you literally have accessibility and opportunity for everyone.
Yes.
So that's great to see.
So
And
on that note, the people who may not be inclined to take a combat class, you mentioned dance.
Yeah, so we have dance classes currently for our youth. We have a mixture of hip hop, ballet, and just regular dance that we offer. So the goal is to hit some numbers like Bjorn right now at the push and pump. We're at 4 to 5, right? Ranging. God willing, we'll hit those 20 people coming on a day-to-day basis so that we have enough traction to build upon. So the other day I did a site visit. I was at Lincoln and they were hosting a soccer game against, I believe it was Bradley, which is also right down the street from us at the Y. And they were excited but sad that it was coming to an end, right? So I was over there. I'm always, well, you're Caps, right? Yeah, you have a free voucher that you can come continue enhancing those skills at the Y. When you're coming to the Y, our numbers are currently a little low. So my number one priority is maximizing what we currently have and hitting the right amount of numbers so that from there I'm building more and bringing more and tailoring more. But in order to do that, I really want to get our current classes fulfilled, which is the basketball, our soccer, the push and pump is a new one, and our dance classes with the variation of hip hop, ballet, and just regular dance. And then we also have gymnastics
wow.
that we're hosting. But unfortunately, this session we had to collapse it because we didn't have enough enrollment. And I don't want to collapse classes.
Yeah.
My team has gotten to learn we're not canceling classes ever, right? So we're all ready to take on that next step to make sure our classes are open and consistent. Now I just need the right traction so that I have enough room to grow more.
Right, because dance and gymnastics can get very pricey. So how do you help keep prices down? Is that included in your membership, or do you charge lower fees?
So it kind of circles right back to like Access for All, right, which is the financial assistance, which that's why I like to just say, come through the doors, talk to us about your interests, your needs, and what you want to see or what we have available to you. And my job and my team's job will be to find their best approach to supporting you. Whether you're an EXL and qualify for certain benefits or you don't, then we call it financial aid. I like to call it Access for All because at the end of the day, it's the same thing. I don't know. I just maybe my little lingo to it, but I don't want to turn anyone away from being able to take advantage of these opportunities if they're seeking to really enhance their wellness, right? And I think in the San Bernardino community, there is a need to get people more active and to educate them on why it's important to be active. I think Thursday we had a older couple come in, Spanish speaking, who just needed help translating the worksheet, their Access for All FA application. So I sat up there and I said, awesome, let's do it. And one of my program directors said, hey, I'm bilingual too, but there's certain like terminologies I don't know how to translate. So I said, I can do it so that you can see, the way I engage and translate so that they can start getting that culture in helping and assisting anyone who comes through our door.
That's awesome. And something that I want to touch on that we haven't gotten a second is the teen center space. You guys are in such close proximity to Pacific High School. And when we toured that space, just seeing that as an opportunity for students to have a safe location where they could be safe and actually be active or work on homework or just chill out is such an additive to the community that I don't think everyone really recognizes. But can you talk about that teen space?
100%. You're going to get a little kick out of this. So most of the times when I want to grab a bite to eat, it's right around the time that Pacific lets out their students, right? So Pacific High School is our only high school that we oversee through the before and after school program, right? EXL. So all of those kids have a free Y membership. Do they know that? Maybe not all. So there's a few that will come through our parking lot and they're waiting for parent pickup. And I'll come out and I'm like, hey, do you go to Pacific? And they'll have a great conversation with me. Oh yeah, normally I say before school, after school, sorry. But today I'm getting picked up, but we're trying to avoid the traffic over here. So I'm waiting for my mom. Cool. Did you know you had a free membership? And they're like, to what? To the Y. Oh, this is a Y? What's the Y, right? So we started educating a few of the students coming through. They come in and they hang out in some nice cool air. I've even had the opportunity to say, hey, you guys are getting picked up. Would you like me to, speak with your parent? Right. Sometimes I will. Other times they're probably like, no, I'm okay, right?
Yeah.
But they go back in and tell their parents about our conversation, and they're coming around where now they're coming and shooting some hoops. Right now our branch closes at noon on Friday. If we continue having that high school attraction, then I'm going to need to open my branch later because they're coming after school, after their programs, because it's a drop-in. They can go into the EXL program, do their activities or their tutoring and support, and then come back over and shoot some hoops before it gets dark. And if it gets dark, we have our lights on, and we always have an exempt level staff member available between the hours of 9 to 7. So we're there and available, and it's definitely growing and going back to activating some space. And in the future, we might, take that to the next level.
Yeah, and I'm sure parents would love to know that resource is there. I mean, if you can't get out until 5:30 and your kid's stuck after school, it would be nice to know they have a safe space to go and wait for you for a couple of hours. They can do their homework. They can play basketball. They can lift weights. That would be nice as a parent to know, hey, my kid is taken care of. He's not roaming around the streets, getting into who knows what,
Exactly. Or if our program ends and concludes at 6 p.m., our branch is open till about like 8:30. So many of the times after that, they don't want to go home. You know, they're young adults and they're trying to do something different. They'll come by and, like you said, hit our weights, shoot some hoops. And sometimes they kind of even enjoy seeing the little ones because our itty bitties is just the cutest thing ever, right? And seeing them kind of enhance their motor skills.
What else is in the teen center?
Currently,
we
just
have a lot
have
of stuff in there, don't
we had foosball, we have a gaming console, and one computer available. But most of them have Chromebooks, so we have some just tables open for them to use.
Don't get me started on foosball. That's my game.
Now that we've talked about the teens and the little kids, and also the parents, seniors, you mentioned that it's a communal space for the seniors to come. I saw a puzzle out, and you said the seniors come in and they work on the puzzle. They'll have coffee, they'll lift their weights or stretching. And
yes, and they also really love our water aerobics class. In there, that is probably one of our largest classes in the morning. Yesterday, as I was saying goodbye to everyone in Push and Pump, they were asking me, so when are we doing night aerobics, right? Because they really enjoy our class. And it's not something that is very straining. Our class at the San Bernardino Y is tailored to them and their abilities to perform. I think one of our members, I believe she's 92, and she comes every single day we have class, which was also my mom's motivation. You know, she has had 2 back surgeries that have caused a lot of restraint with her mobility. So I tell her there is no excuse besides you not coming through those doors.
It speaks to the larger commitment of the Y to the community health, the health of the community.
It's important, and it's important for us to also educate around that. But yeah, it's one of our largest classes. We absolutely love it. The seniors love it. We have great instructors, and it's very welcoming. It's more community, family based, and they hang out, have great conversations, build relationships, and ultimately become good friends.
Yeah, and I think that's such a great addition to the community that you guys are currently in. It is a like predominant senior population in that area too, and I think that it's important to remind people of what's available in terms of amenities, because the YMCA is one big giant amenity for every and any community that they're located in. And there's one in San Bernardino, and I don't think people have forgotten, but some people have forgotten. And it's great to see like the resurgence and everything that you guys are working towards and building and remodeling and new programs, and it's great to see. So
it's a genuine investment that you're making, and it's obvious, it's clear that you are invested and you want to make this happen.
Yes, I am 100%.
If you do that class in the evening, tell me, I'm going to get you some lights, because you got to make it a party.
Big plans.
It's got to be fun. That's the way I roll with my classes. I'm like, can we get some lights up in here? So this is like, you want to come in.
The full experience, right? We deserve nothing but the absolute best. Don't even get me started.
Maybe a little fog too. No, I'm just kidding.
I have done that. You take my class. I bring fog machines.
That's awesome.
He has. But it's the experience. It's what makes it so much more engaging, especially when you're trying to really meet your own personal goals.
Yeah.
It's just, it's the environment. Environment is big, right? So as we start working towards and treading in the right directions, eventually we'll see great changes. Just like I mentioned, a nice little facelift to our building where it's more welcoming. I definitely want to see some change there. So with some time, we'll bring the change. But I'd love to have the people now. And I just want to welcome everyone through my journey. I think many people have been there with my journey in enhancing our before and after school childcare program that, of course, I've been so devoted to because I was that kid and I am that kid. Yeah. So now I am in a place where I want to see all the mini-me's come to my programs and seeing what is available to, but also those parents who need support and resources and something more engaging. Come on over. Our goal is to get you guys here.
Yeah. Misconceptions. What would each of you say are the 2 biggest misconceptions of the Y?
I would say that we're just a gym.
Gotcha.
I agree with that. I feel when people think of the Y, that you would feel you're just going to go there to work out, or it's a place that just old people go,
Mm-hmm.
or it's a place that you're going to go take your kids to swim or something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's when I was mentioning that earlier. It's about really getting that, breaking those barriers of thought and getting people to realize, I said, no, 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 no. There's not just a gym.
Yeah.
It's not just old people. It's not just kids. It's everybody.
Yeah.
And there is really something for everybody there. We don't just say it.
Right.
We really have that. You go in there and you have stuff for infants. How they're doing the mommy and me classes in, well, what did you say? Parents and me.
Yeah. Our aquatics director is like, Karen and me. And I was like, you're right. So I'm getting the right terminology down.
Yeah. So you have that, 6 months old. I believe for Kids Club, when you come in to work out, I think they do 6 months to, I don't remember the other age group, but that young, you can drop off the kids that we will watch for you. So, there's something for everybody there. The parents have the stuff to do. Grandparents can do stuff. It's
And then
everybody.
Secondly, what we're doing is really bringing more community events out more than we've ever done, I would say, before, because we want to also make it make it so our community understands that the misconception of we're just a gym is incorrect. We will be doing community events. We will be then driving those to more wellness and fitness, so that they can get a feel for that really good, after you finish a workout, it's just a really great feeling of, oh my God. I like to explain it as I don't want to say a breath of fresh air, but just maybe you had a nice, great cup of coffee or an energy drink. It's like a wind that just, those endorphins really do something. Let me tell you.
Well, they do say if you even just exercise 20 minutes per day, that it alleviates a lot of like mental health issues. And honestly, I think we as humans just kind of innately underestimate that, how 20 minutes could assist you. And you guys have a plethora of ways to be active. So
exactly. So we're pushing those community events to get people here to kind of check it out. Be there with me while we grow this facility onto its next stage. And it will be a very proud moment when we look back and say, oh, remember when it used to look this way? Remember when we only had a couple classes? And I'm waiting for the moment where I stand outside of the facility and say, we are where I knew we would get, and I hope that I have people with me through that journey, from our community, everyone here, to really see and be a part of that movement and change that is going to come forward.
Yeah, when we toured each of your facilities, we were surprised by how many programs you offer and the extent of your programs, your facilities, and you're just getting started.
Exactly, and we're just getting started. So that's the exciting part.
And one of the exciting events, because you're talking about events, we won't mention the trunk or treat because this will be out next week, but one of the exciting events that's coming is November 1st is a Dia de los Muertos event at the San Bernardino Family YMCA. And can you tell us a little bit about that date, time, location, what we could expect?
Yeah, so it's actually going to take place on November 1st, which is what I am most excited for. This Dia de los Muertos will be the first in our association, so that's also very exciting. And what we're going to be having and we're working through is getting vendors who want to come out. And we are really also encouraging our current staff that we're hiring from our community. If you have a small business, if you want to bring something out, come on and talk to us so that we can get you set up with a vendor booth, because we want this to be an opportunity not just to commemorate those who have gone on to next adventures or next life, but to also re-engage those in our own community who are doing great work. So we're very excited. If anyone's interested, please just email us and we will get you guys set up. This will be taking place from 11 to about 2 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to check the flyer.
The flyers are till 1.
Oh, sorry, 11 to 1. And this is just us really piloting it off. We want to have a huge community-based altar that we're going to be making. So we're seeking to see if any students, families, friends want to come on over and commemorate their family. We're going to have something set up for them. And as they're coming in, we're also going to be having activities to be a part of that, to bring forward. So we're excited to see what it looks like.
Tours.
Yeah.
We're going to be offering tours. I believe currently we're also going to we're looking into opening kind of like the pool deck so that they can come check it out, get a feel for the warm water, and see what that is in person. So we hope that people come through, have a great time, have a great experience, but ultimately get encouraged to open a membership and start their wellness journey, not just for themselves, but their family and kids.
Yeah. And joining fees, I believe, on that day specifically will be waived, right?
That is correct. So for the Dia de los Muertos, we will be removing all joining fees to make it more accessible for anyone who's interested. So please come on back, and we'll help you guys get set
Yeah,
up.
that's a great deal. You can't beat that. Mm-hmm.
And come meet J-Lo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take a picture with her.
Exactly. I was so close the other day. I was thinking of, the insurance where they say, tell them Adriana sent you. Is that what it is? I forgot.
Yeah.
I was a kid when I.
Yeah.
So now you can come on by and ask for J-Lo. I will definitely be there.
The IE's very own Jennifer Lopez.
Exactly. So I'm excited to just have everyone come on by.
Really
So just a really quick little like speed round in regards to the YMCA. I have a couple of questions for you guys. Will you answer?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So first one, what is your guys' favorite program at each of your locations?
Ooh, right now, as you can tell, my number one favorite program has been aquatics. Like, I think you were mentioning, I'm just aqua girl right now, really reminiscing my mermaid feelings. So,
You're in your mermaid era, right?
yes, I am. So I would definitely say aquatics.
Okay.
I feel like I would have to go with the circus
Yeah.
over at ours. I mean, come take my combat class. You guys will love that class. I really feel we have a great group of instructors that really cater to people. But for the first time 2 years ago, I had first seen the circus. I had never gone. It will blow your mind. And I'm not just saying that because I work there. Like, when I saw it, it's a huge production, and it just blows my mind.
Yes.
So the circus is pretty amazing.
And you will see littles in the circus.
Oh.
It's not, and again, it goes back to at the Y, it doesn't matter how old you are. Obviously, we're not going to have a newborn in the circus. I don't think we've done that. But we have littles who go in there and perform and, really embrace what it's like to be on a stage, in a sense.
Yeah, on the last one, they did
awesome.
just this last performance. Oh my God, they were dressed like little abominals. They were adorable, these little girls and guys, and they had the little abominable snowman masks on their head. They do a lot of the tumbling, some jumping, stuff like that, but it's so adorable.
We'll have to check that out.
Last question. What's your favorite memory with a community member?
With a community member.
Or employee, that's fine too. Yeah.
Oh, like so when you say community member, someone who's part of the Y?
Yes.
Yeah. So I met somebody there. Her name is Shirley. And she was always just kind of like, when I would be walking by one of the exercise rooms, she's always in there, just her. She's throwing a ball against the wall or doing some sort of movements. And I went in there and just started talking with her. She shared her whole story with me. She almost died from anesthesia at the dentist.
Oh my goodness.
And that caused a bunch of issues. And then she got better from that, but she had to slow down everything. And that's why she started at the Y, was to slowly build up strength and stuff like that. And she was just the sweetest person, telling me everything about what she was doing, what she went through. And I actually told her about combat. She's like, I've seen you teaching that. I don't know if I could do that. I'm like, I do it for everybody. And I'm like, when are you coming to
Yeah.
my class? And she actually did. And
That's awesome.
she's like, I don't know if I could be up the whole time. I said, you do what you can do. And I even brought a chair out for her.
Oh, nice.
So she could do
She
it.
punch from a chair.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You can do. I feel like I want to do a Silver Sneakers version of Combat because we could do it right here in the chair. I'll give you the moves. But yeah, she would come and visit me in my office, and it's nice the relationships you build with people. And she is just one person who really sticks out in my mind.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's cool.
That's amazing. I would say for me, it's two sisters. So I met the first one, Maya, her first day of kindergarten. It was the first time we ever opened the before and after school childcare program, EXL, at North Verdamont. And I said, it's the first day ever. Let me check it out at 7 in the morning. Why not, right? It's when our program starts. And she was ready. A kinder student was ready with cute little flower nails painted on. She had her backpack, her first day kinder suit. And she was like, okay, Mom, I'm going to head to class. She was ready. And I said, this confidence in a kinder student is phenomenal. So I told Mom, hey, at the time I was the associate executive director. I introduced myself and I said, I'm going to walk in with her if you don't mind. I oversee the program. She's like, okay, awesome. So I walked in with her and I was just keeping an eye because I've never met such a confident kinder student. She went in, she'd take a look, she put her backpack down and she sat at her desk. And I think when she looked up and realized, wait a minute, I don't know anyone, her bottom lip just curled a little bit, and I broke a little bit because, oh no, I don't want to have a kinder crying, right? She needs to have that confidence all the way through, was my thought. So I went over, and the first thing that popped in my head was making turkeys out of hand, tracing your hand.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, you want to check this out? And she made a few, and we made different variations of animals out of her tracing her hand. She had a great time. And maybe a year or two later, I saw her at the Y, and she was taking gymnastics classes. And I always knew she had a sister, but her sister was going to a different school at a time. So I got to meet her sister. Aria was the kinder. Her sister was Maya. So then I have met both sisters. Aria was in gymnastics, and Maya was in karate. And they're taking classes, and they do our swim, and they really love and enjoy it. So this last summer, they had the opportunity to go to Camp Edwards.
Get it out.
Funniest thing, I passed out in front of all my staff at Camp Edwards because
Oh my
goodness.
I'm terrified of heights, right? But I'm very good at
Oh, did you climb
let
the
me
rock
test
climb?
my boundaries.
Yeah.
So I rock climbed all the way
Oh.
up.
Oh,
Ooh.
And
dear.
I was like, yeah, let's
Oh,
zip
no.
line down. So it was great, right? But when not just do I have fear of heights, but when I overstress my body through the adrenaline, I know that I'm prone to passing out. So I remember saying, okay, unhook me. I'm not feeling well. I'm going to pass out. You need to unhook me. And our Y staff is being kind, courteous. It's okay. You're fine. And I'm like,
No, it's
no,
not.
this is your warning.
Yeah.
By the time, thankfully, both my feet hit the ground, I just... And all of my site coordinators who were on this
Were they
journey
scared?
with it, they were just like, there's no way, because I was the associate executive director or interim director. So they were like, so when I came back up, I was like, okay, I don't feel well, but I did say it. The first thing out of my mouth was, so did the CPR first aid training come in hand? And all the staff were like, yeah.
That is crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm human,
Yeah.
and
Passing out just always causes a scene. It's
Of
like,
course.
yeah.
Drama, yeah.
I passed out on
Yeah.
a plane this year, first time ever happened. So
jeez.
Oh, no.
pretty humiliating.
But
But
it's a icky feeling,
Yeah.
At least for me.
You
But-
don't want to
So
pass
funny.
out with me.
Why?
Because with my ex, she passed out when we were waiting in line for a buffet at Vegas.
uh,
What'd you do?
She's like, I'm so hot right now. So I'm fanning her, and she's like, boop.
oh,
And I'm like, hey. Nothing, someone. Slap.
that is crazy.
Did you get the cup of water?
No, then I did another slap a little bit harder. And it was like, So that's my first reaction. I'm going to be like, wake up.
That
Thank
is
God.
crazy.
I will be very mindful. I will be like,
Yeah.
Bjorn's there, let me book it this way.
You'll come to with like some fingerprints on your cheek.
You say I better sit myself down. He's gonna leave me on the floor.
I will guide
That's
you
so
to
funny.
the floor, but then I got to wake you up.
That's the most important part, though.
Just lift my legs, that's it.
I'll remember that in case that happens.
So,
that's so funny.
wrapping up on the student again.
Yes. My two students, Aria, I'm so sorry. So my first student, Aria, her first day of kinder, she was the strongest champion walking into that classroom until she realized she didn't meet anyone or know anyone.
Yeah.
So getting her introduced, acclimated, she was just fine. From there, I got to meet her sister, Maya, who takes karate classes at the Y, and Aria does gymnastics. Currently, they're both doing karate for this session since we didn't have enough to keep gymnastics open. But I would say one of my favorite interactions is meeting their parents and saying, hey, you guys have a wonderful pair of daughters who are so adventurous and willing to try new things and so confident. And I think it's important for our youth to continue growing that confidence and not having experiences that are going to shy them away from being confident. So this last summer, I met with both mom and dad, and I told them that I had an opportunity for their daughters to go up to our Camp Edwards camp through a Send a Kid to Camp program. They were going to think about it, who would want to send their littles up to camp overnight. I think it was for a weekend. They came back and said, okay, we trust you, so we will do this. And I said, well, if you trust me enough, I will also make it a point to drive up and send you a wellness picture. And the girls had a blast. I got a couple videos, a couple pictures before they noticed I was there. Once they recognized me, they were like, what are you doing here, right? But they had an amazing experience that I hope they hold dearly to them moving forward, because I think it's important to have those as a kid and then just continue to grow within your own confidence. So that would definitely be one of my favorite experiences with two of our program participants and their parents who are members.
And it allows them to experience things that they may not be able to on their own. So
Exactly.
That's really cool.
So many memories too that you guys are building and like playing a part of people's lives, and that goes back to your guys' impact and all the work that you guys do and are still doing today. So
Exactly.
I just want to piggyback real quick too off of what Jen was saying. So she was talking about how we use our Send a Kid to Camp program. That's just another example of what we do to help, let these kids have these experiences that you may not have otherwise, So a lot of parents think, oh my gosh, summer camp, that's going to be so expensive. But that's another program we offer. Yes, we do offer financial assistance for our summer overnight camp. But on top of that, we also have full scholarships that we will offer out too, so these kids can go and have these experiences like Maya and her sister did.
Yeah, that's so important to let people know about that, because there's times when people are just trying to put food on the table. So camp is not even a possibility.
Exactly.
So that's really good that you want to let people know that these options are there to explore if they do want to have their kids experience these things.
I once took, when I was the program coordinator for Brown Elementary, I had a small budget, and I used about 90% of that budget to take kids to Legoland. And my principal, she's amazing, Miss Martinez, I love her. She looked at me and said, are you sure this will be the best use of your money? And will you be able to have enough supplies to finish the year with what you have left? And I said, if there's a will, there's a way, and I am positive. I took the kids to Legoland, and parents till this day, whether they forgot my name or didn't, they will always remember, you took my kids to Legoland for the first time, and they came home with the best experiences, stories, and memories that I could be just more grateful to you being able to do that. So I know that in our programs, we're really encouraging doing educational-based experiences, because at Legoland, we did all of their Lego builds and looked at strategic ways to build things, right? So there's a lot of education behind the scenes that takes place. So
a lot of STEM stuff going on over there.
exactly. And them having these experiences, I think, broadens their ability and interest in wanting to do more.
Awesome. Well, guys, we appreciate you joining us here on Inland Insight. Shout out your guys' websites, your social media handle, and where people could go to learn more about you.
So you can just go to ymcaeastvalley.org. And then once you're on that main website, you can break down and see the different locations on there, membership pricing, all the programs we offer, not just a gym. Yeah. And then on Facebook, we are at YMCA East Valley. And on Instagram, we are at YMCA_East Valley.
That covers it.
And where are you guys located? Address?
I'm located at 808 East 21st Street, San Bernardino, California, 92404.
Awesome. Well, Bjorn, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining Denise and I. We also want to thank the San Bernardino Valley College Department of Film, Television, and Media. We are in their IMA podcast studio equipped with audio, visual. So we want to thank them for that partnership. And we will see you all next time. Thank you guys for listening and watching.
We'll see you in Body Combat.